Have we biologically regressed? This question haunts more men every year, and the answer is written in blood tests, hospital records, and the quiet desperation of an entire generation wondering why they feel so weak. Look around. Men today are sluggish, tired, overfed but undernourished, overstimulated but underwhelmed. Energy is low, muscle is soft, desire is slowly fading. And the worst part is that we have come to accept it. Testosterone, the hormone that once powered warriors, hunters, builders, is plummeting across generations. According to multiple studies, average testosterone levels in men have dropped at least 20% over the past few decades, even after adjusting for age. So we are not just getting older, we are getting weaker by design. But what changed? Is it the food, the chemicals, the screens? Or did we engineer a lifestyle so far removed from our primal roots that our biology simply started to shut down? Today, we are taking a cinematic journey through time, from the raw strength of cavemen to the deadly precision of gladiators, to the chemically softened men of today. Not just to understand what we have lost, but how to get it back. If you are ready to uncover what history can teach us about being a stronger man today, hit subscribe and let us go back to where it all began. But before we travel back in time, let's face what's happening right now. Because to understand what ancient men had, we first need to see what we modern men have lost. And the loss? It creeps in quietly. It starts small. You hit snooze 3 times before dragging yourself out of bed. You scroll. You sip coffee. You sit still for hours, in traffic, at a desk, or on the couch. You're fed, but not nourished. Stimulated, but never fully alive. You're exhausted, anxious, distracted, and you don't know why. But your biology does. Testosterone levels in men are in freefall. A study published in 2007 in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that testosterone has been declining by about 1% per year, independent of age. That means a 30-year-old man today has significantly less testosterone than a 30-year-old man in 1980. And it's not just numbers. Low testosterone looks like poor sleep, low sex drive, decreased motivation, anxiety, belly fat, brain fog, and even depression. Men everywhere are asking what is wrong with me, not realizing they are biologically out of sync with how men were designed to live. We weren't built for office chairs and endless notifications. We weren't meant to live under artificial lights, eating food out of plastic, staring at blue screens until midnight. Testosterone doesn't just drop overnight. It dies slowly, from the friction of a modern life that no longer challenges, excites, or awakens the masculine system. But has it always been this way? To understand why men are hormonally flatlined today, we need to rewind. Back to a time before desk jobs, before microwaves, and before comfort, when survival itself demanded strength. Picture this. You wake up not to an alarm, but to the rising sun. The air is cold. Your body aches, but you are alert. You are hungry, not bored, not anxious, but truly hungry. Today, you will need to track, chase, kill, cook, and protect. You are a man, yes, but closer to a beast than a modern human. This was the life of a caveman, and it was absolutely brutal. But it was also hormonally optimal. Every day demanded movement, real, functional, full-body exertion, lifting, sprinting, crawling, climbing, hunting. Their lives were synced to natural rhythms. Sleep came after sunset. Meals came after effort. There were no light switches, no Uber Eats, no scrolling, just survival. Studies suggest early humans had more circulating testosterone, visible even in their physical structure: thicker bones, heavier brows, broader jaws. A 2014 study noted that prehistoric men likely had higher testosterone levels, especially during their reproductive prime, linked to their physically demanding lives. And this was not just cavemen. Move forward to the Roman gladiators, warriors trained daily in strength, endurance, and technique. These men lived to fight. Their bodies were temples of precision. Testosterone in these arenas was not optional, it was weaponized. The stress of competition boosted testosterone. The fear of death produced a hormonal surge. And the crowd was a primal trigger. Success in combat elevated testosterone, just like success in a hunt once did. Even medieval knights, centuries later, lived lives far more demanding than ours. They trained with swords, rode horses, and marched in armor for days. Their days were filled with labor, resistance, and danger. Hormones do not just respond to supplements, they respond to stimulus. And ancient life was full of it. What all these men had in common was not some genetic gift, but a lifestyle that kept their hormonal engine firing. Movement, purpose, challenge, danger, rest. So when did that change? When did we go from living like predators to living like pets? The downfall didn't happen overnight. It started with a single shift: comfort over challenge. When humans transitioned from hunting and gathering to farming, the world changed, and so did our biology. The agricultural revolution gave us security, but at a cost. Diets became more grain-based and less diverse. The physical demands of daily life decreased. There was still work, yes, but not the same kind of dynamic, high-intensity movement our ancestors thrived on. Testosterone likely dipped slightly, but men still moved, still worked the land, still slept under the stars, and dealt with real, physical adversity. Then came the Industrial Revolution, and everything accelerated. Machines replaced muscles. Men spent hours indoors, performing repetitive tasks under artificial light. Physical labor became routine and linear, not primal and intense. More importantly, a new enemy appeared: toxins, lead exposure, coal dust, chemical fumes. These were not just bad for the lungs, they were endocrine disruptors. By the early 1900s, men were breathing, touching, and even drinking substances that silently undermined hormonal health. Then came the real killer: the digital modern lifestyle. Suddenly, everything was easier. We sat more, ate more processed food, lived under LED lights, slept worse, worked longer, but moved less. Plastics, pesticides, cleaning products, all loaded with estrogen-mimicking chemicals. These substances confuse the endocrine system, reducing testosterone production over time. One study found that men born in the 1980s had significantly lower testosterone than those born in the 1960s at the same age. The evolutionary trajectory of man was thrown off course. We were once built to fight, lift, run, survive. Now we sit, consume, react. And it begs the question, is this decline biological or is it environmental? Are we broken or just badly adapted? This is not just nostalgia for the past. It is happening, and science is tracking it. A 2020 study published in the Journal of Urology confirmed it. Testosterone levels in young men have been steadily declining since at least the late 1990s. This drop is independent of age, weight, or ethnicity, That means it is not just older men or unhealthy men, it is all men. So, what is behind this hormonal crash? First, endocrine disruptors. These are chemicals found in plastics, cosmetics, receipts, even tap water, and they mimic estrogen inside the body. Common disruptors like phthalates and bisphenol A, BPA, interfere with the body's hormonal signals, leading to lower testosterone production. Second, chronic stress. Cortisol, the stress hormone, is testosterone's natural enemy. And in today's world, with notifications, deadlines, noise, and blue light, cortisol is often elevated. Over time, that suppresses testosterone. Third, obesity. Fat does not just store energy, it actively converts testosterone into estrogen through a process called aromatization. The more body fat you carry, especially around the belly, the more your own testosterone is being turned against you. Add in poor sleep, lack of sunlight, sedentary living, and nutrient-depleted diets, and you have a perfect storm. This is not evolution. It is misalignment. We are not becoming weaker because we are meant to. We are becoming weaker because modern life is built around habits that suffocate testosterone. But if the science can show us where things went wrong, can it also help us fix it? Ancient men didn't optimize for testosterone. They just lived in a way that demanded it. They moved constantly. Not in 45-minute gym sessions, but throughout the entire day. Walking, lifting, climbing, throwing and carrying. Functional, primal movement was survival. They got sunlight, real daily exposure that fueled their circadian rhythms and boosted vitamin D, a key player in testosterone production. They slept when it got dark. No blue light, no midnight scrolling, just deep, hormone-repairing rest. Their diets were diverse: meat from the hunt, plants from the wild, natural fats, and no ultra-processed junk. No seed oils, no microwave dinners, no plastic packaging leaching chemicals into their food. Diet mattered. And maybe most importantly, they had purpose. Whether it was to protect a tribe, win a battle, or find food, their stress came in short, intense bursts. Not the never-ending anxiety loop we live in today. Purpose shaped their physiology. Their lives were harder, but biologically richer. We do not need to go back to spears and caves, but we can take lessons from the way they lived. The blueprint for testosterone was not built in a lab. It was forged in nature. So how do we translate ancient wisdom into modern habits without losing our minds or quitting our jobs? You do not need to hunt mammoths or train with swords to reclaim your testosterone. But you do need to start living intentionally, like your hormones actually matter. Intentionally is the point. Start with movement. Not just workouts, but daily motion. Walk more. Take the stairs. Lift heavy things 3 to 4 times a week. Focus on compound lifts that activate your whole body, like squats, deadlifts, pull-ups, and presses. Next, fix your sleep. Black out your room. Go to bed at the same time every night. Get sunlight in your eyes within 30 minutes of waking. And no screens an hour before bed. Sleep is foundational. Then there is your diet. Cut out processed foods, refined sugars, and seed oils. Eat whole, natural foods with enough healthy fats like eggs, red meat, nuts, and olive oil. These are the building blocks of your hormones. You will also want to reduce chemical exposure. Use glass, not plastic. Filter your water. Switch to personal care products that do not list a chemistry set on the back label. And finally, manage stress. Meditate, breathe, touch grass. Be in nature. Choose challenge over chaos. Stress. Management changes biology. These are not hacks, they are defaults. What your biology expects. The more you return to those, the more your body responds. The question is, are you willing to live in alignment with what makes you powerful? We were never meant to be soft. Our ancestors did not think about testosterone. They just lived lives that forged it. They moved with purpose. They ate real food. They slept in darkness. They faced real threats. They built real strength. Today, we live in a world designed for comfort. Comfort comes at a cost, and we have paid it with our hormones, our drive, and our edge. Here is the truth. You are not broken. You are just misaligned. Everything you need to reclaim your strength already exists in history, in nature, in you. This is not about becoming a caveman. It is about becoming the man you were always wired to be. If you found this video helpful, hit subscribe, drop a comment below, and say, what is the one habit you are changing today to raise your testosterone and take back control?